Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's volume 2 of our Hidden Gems series, and you're going to find that here every Tuesday on the channel. Today though, I'm going to be adding another 5 Switch eShop Hidden Gems, what they're about and why maybe you should consider adding them to your library. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up for you Mega Man fans out there, I've got Mighty Gunvolt Burst, starting life on the 3DS. This series, it found its way to the Nintendo Switch, and I just don't hear it get mentioned nearly as much as it deserves to be. This one, it's a complete homage to the Blue Bomber though, in the best possible way. They've come out pretty much on top with gameplay and the visual departments. Here though, expect to be choosing from basically one of 2 characters, either Gunvolt from the Fiore Striker Gunvolt series, or Beck from Mighty No. 9. Now I will say there, do not let Mighty No. 9 put you off. It's a game I know that everyone, loves to hate on, but this, it has a whole lot more, to offer, and if anything, I'd say this is really the Mighty No. 9 game we deserved. Going into this one though, expect 2D platforming and just a whole lot of combat as you're facing, waves upon waves of enemies, and facing off with some truly unique boss designs that they ramp the difficulty just enough that you'll feel great beating them, but you also shouldn't get stuck for too long. Where Mighty Gunvolt Burst though builds upon its influences outside of multiple characters, which I really like anyway, is its inventory system where you can modify your weapons and even carry around like food to heal in moments of desperation. Mighty Gunvolt Burst though just honestly deserves your attention. It's got great and responsive gameplay, a visual style that it touts for somewhere between 8-bit and 16-bit, but all I know is I like it. Creative enemies and locations, and quite a lot of them as well. And then finally a soundtrack that just does its influences justice in all its chiptune glory. If you're even remotely tempted by this one, just know there is also a demo available on the eShop right now, so there's really no reason not to at least take a quick look. This is a personal favourite of mine when I'm on the go playing handheld. So Nightcore next up. This one, it's a pretty recent release, and it's for those of you out there that like a little brain power with your gaming. If it sounds like you, it's well worth a look. I've actually been looking for a chance to talk about this one on the channel, and I finally found my excuse. Here is the idea though: a serial killer is stalking the streets of Paris. With the body count rising, the police, they're essentially clueless to who it could be as they go about, killing everyone in this crime spree. It's basically quickly spiraling out of control. This though is where you come in. Not only have you met the killer directly, but you are the lone survivor of their most recent attack. In fact, you're actually the only ever survivor. That though of course has basically led to you being a suspect in the case. That's basically where we queue up the gameplay. You have 7 days to work out not only who the killer is, but clear your name. So how do we do that? Well, basically you drive around your cab, you pick up passengers, and you simply talk to them, achieving basically 3 things. You're building a case, you're finding clues, and then you're raising cash because, well, everyone needs to pay their bills. This one, it's for sure for visual novel fans or mystery fans, as the real gameplay is basic here. It comes down to, choosing your next passenger, choosing a response or a question, monitoring your cash, and then basically linking pieces of the evidence together in a puzzle format. Myself though, I just found it extremely satisfying as I was sucked into this noir take on Paris. Here you can expect a huge cast, 3 different cases with varying challenge to complete, moral choices, and then, of course, just look at these visuals, absolutely stunning. It's not a perfect game, there's definitely some slow dips in the middle, and just overall it's actually a slow burner, but I think just watching this, you'll know if this one is for you. So next up then, a game I actually reviewed over on the channel, the TakeOver, releasing around the same time as Streets of Rage 4. This could have easily, and I'm sure it was, missed by so many, but it absolutely deserves its time in the spotlight. This one, it's basically taking the side-scrolling brawler formula we all know and love, and it adds a few of its own twists just to elevate it slightly above being a simple clone. The setup, it's nothing you haven't seen before. Megan Brooks and Ethan Rivers are 2 lead characters. Their daughter has been kidnapped and you are out to save her, of course, against a crazy cast of enemies. You'll also be helped along the way then by your friend Connor Grayson. Basically what this achieves is you get 3 characters to choose from, and it's best to look at these as the all-around brawler, the fast but of course less powerful, and then the tank. You're slow, but you more than make up for that with earthquake-like levels of destruction. Why I like the TakeOver so much though, it's just got a deeper than most combat system thanks to dedicated punch, kick, jump and special inputs. It's just an incredible game honestly, and the crazy thing about it all is it was made by just one guy, an impressive achievement. They even venture outside, the standard just side-scrolling combat for two really amazing levels based around a fighter jet and a car chase. The visuals, I've got to say now, they won't be for everyone, that's clear, but I really think there is a lot to like here for fans of the genre if you can get over the stylings. I think the main thing I want to highlight about this one though, a lot of people in the comments were saying, it's a Streets of Rage 4 copycat, and it's obvious the series influenced this one, but it's got to be known, was in development for a long time before Streets of Rage 4, and you can actually find this game in its early stages on Steam way back in 2015. I know this much about the TakeOver, it deserves more though than simply a tag of it's Streets of Rage 4, because it's so much more than that and can proudly stand shoulder to shoulder with some of the best out there. So Wandersong now, in this one it's combining rhythm game elements with platforming, and yes, you heard that right. Also, if you like your games cartoony and colourful, this one absolutely has you covered. Starting life though as a Kickstarter project back in 2016, this one had a really interesting concept to live up to, and I gotta say it did not disappoint. Kickstarter is just a funny place where it can so often lead to disappointment, but this one really does show the good that can come out of it too. With this one you'll be taking on the role of a bard who is out on an adventure to save the world from its destruction basically through the power of song. It's a really weird game though, there's no doubt about that, and I'm not even sure who I would directly recommend it to. It's one of those games that you've got to go into, with an open mind, expecting something that's not quite like anything you've played before. It's going to help though if you like rhythm gameplay or just creative platforming. The world here though, it's absolutely stunning. It has some real nice visual tricks as well that are impressive. The rhythm sections that are used for communication and to manipulate the world around you, entertaining and actually challenging at points. Then just the whole game's just impressively built out, and it's a lot bigger than you may expect. An average run through of this one actually lasts in the region of something around 9 hours. I'd strongly recommend taking a look at a few reviews of this one and maybe adding it to the library. So our last game of the week then, and a personal favourite of mine, Fiore. Fiore is a game that will kick your ass and leave you questioning, why do you do this to yourself, before you get control of your emotions and you press restart, because it's one of those games, just one more go, I'll do it this time. You've got to appreciate a stiff challenge though if you go into this one, that is for sure. Here what we are basically getting is a boss rush game, meaning you'll walk from location to location where the game just adds context to the storyline before throwing you into one of 12 boss fights. And these things not only ramp in challenge, but always come with some new move to kind of throw you off. It's combining hack and slash elements with twin stick shooting, and they make for some of the best controls I've experienced in a long time. You'll use these skills though to take out your enemies, who all attack with a whole lot of power and a whole lot of bullet hell as well. Basically, Fiore is one I honestly think everyone should try. Yes, it has a steep learning curve, but talk about epic battle moments, talk about enter the gungeon style dodging to evade bullets, and talk about taking elements from good old-fashioned shooters. If you like any of those gameplay elements, then this is absolutely a must-buy. To back up the substance then as well, it's got a whole lot of style thanks to its choice of colour palette, the visuals that are some of my favourite on the console, character design from Takashi Okazaki of Afro Samurai, and then the soundtrack is just incredible, part retro wave, part electronic, and well worth checking out even if you don't buy the game. It's on Spotify, go listen to it. This is a beast of a game though, and one I urge you to consider. And that's it, Volume 2 is complete. I'm working on getting some guests involved in this series so we can just continue to explore the weird and varied landscape that is the Nintendo eShop. Do any of the games I've recommended today though catch your eye, or have you played any and can join me in recommending them? Let me know in the comments below. And then as always, a quick shout out to the patrons of the channel who are not only going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner, but also are helping with input and ideas for this very series. I appreciate you, thank you so much, and if you want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it below. With that though, as always, thank you for watching, for joining in the conversation in the comments, and most of all for supporting this new series and basically showing me it's the sort of content you like to see. With that, if you are new here, then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.